Namaste and welcome back to Awaken Living with Nibodhi. I'm totally stoked to bring you today's episode because today's episode is on about being stoked. What does it mean to be stoked? When was the last time you felt absolutely stoked? I'm not talking about being entertained or even just temporarily excited or distracted by something new and novelty, but stoked, deeply alive, deeply inspired, engaged with life, filled with enthusiasm and wonder and possibility and the mystic and the awe of everything. That's what stoked is. Stoked means to be extremely excited, enthusiastic, thrilled about something. And if you're stoked, that means you're in a high state of energy, of creativity. And there's moments in life when you wake up excited to be alive. Everyone has felt that, right? You feel energized. You wake up, you're totally inspired. Ideas are flowing effortlessly, total creative state. Your heart is open, your mind is clear, your spirit feels connected to something greater than yourself. That's being stoked. And I'm stoked when I'm stoked. It's such a great state to be in. For many people, being stoked, you hear this all the time. Stoked, dude, I caught that perfect wave. Or I'm stoked, I'm going on this adventure. Or you're stoked when your team wins a championship or pursuing something you love. For me, one thing that I get really stoked on is when a band I love or a group of musicians enters into this jam that just takes me completely out of my mind. Them as well. It's a lived experience. A seeker, a spiritual seeker, is stoked when they enter into a meditation or something like that, where they're touching that sacred place. I get stoked when I learn something new or do a podcast. But I want to focus on what it really means to embody stokedness, to be stoked, because it's more than just an emotion. Being stoked is a spiritual state. Really, it's a spiritual state. Check this out. It's the experience of being connected to the fire of life, being connected to the light of love that we are. That is a state of consciousness. That's, I think, what the modern term being in the flow state is. You're one with the environment, you're one with the creative power of the universe, and you're a vessel for that creative power to flow through. And of course, because I do Ayurveda and I love Ayurveda, I have to connect it to Ayurvedic principles, right? So from the Ayurvedic perspective, being stoked is connected to our tejas. That's the subtle fire that illuminates our mind, that fuels passion and awakens our spiritual creativity, our spiritual vision. It's light. It allows us to perceive. So it's a spiritual vision. It's a light that we perceive, the light and love of consciousness. In Ayurveda, it teaches us that humans are really sustained by these three subtle forces: prana, tejas, and ojas. And if you've listened to this podcast before, you're probably actually pretty familiar with this. So just briefly, prana is ultimately the life force that animates everything. Ojas is the essence of vitality. It's our resilience, our immunity, our contentment. It's what provides the longevity. It's the subtle nutrients and subtle essence of being. And then tejas is the radiant fire of intelligence. It's our perception, our inspiration, our transformation. Every cell in our body has tejas. It has an intelligence. It knows what to do. And it's that tejas quality that gives brightness to someone's eyes. You look in their eyes and they're glowing. There's life pouring out of them. And it gives clarity to our mind. It's the courage to be ourselves. It's the courage of our heart to go for our passion, to bring ourselves out into the world. And it brings passion to our purpose, our Dharma. It lights up our Dharma. It's the light that helps us see clearly. It's the light that helps us see the truth of who we are and what our purpose is. And that light is the spark behind every great insight that's ever happened in this world. It's the spark behind every creative endeavor, every piece of art, every piece of poetry, every piece of music. Anything that's ever been created comes from being stoked. Someone was stoked about something. And that tejas is that stoked. It gives us that light behind perception. It's really this force that transforms experience into knowledge and knowledge into wisdom and our intention into action. We can have all the intention in the world, but without being stoked, it never manifests. So it brings our intentions into action. It gives us the enthusiasm and curiosity. What happens if I go for it? What happens if I just do it? And when tejas is vibrant, we're stoked. When we're stoked, life feels meaningful. Again, we wake up full of energy and we're curious about the world. We're excited to learn something new. We're excited to create. We're excited to grow and expand our consciousness. We're excited to serve. In Ayurveda and yoga, there's seva, selfless service. It's not karma yoga where you're doing something for a specific result. It's selfless service. You just serve because you're filled with life and you see the beauty and oneness and you want to serve that. You want to serve that light. You experience wonder, the wonder of a child free from conditions. That's being stoked. And human beings, without being stoked, we're just surviving and we're meant to thrive. We, as humans, we long to experience meaning in life, in anything. We want to feel connected to life. We want to feel connected to something larger than ourselves. And for most people, they want their lives to matter. And the purpose of life is to live life on purpose. Live a life of purpose. That's what Dharma is. That's what our Swadharma, our unique purpose that only we can do. Comparison is confusion because there's only one of us and only we can do us. So when we're stoked, when we're inspired, it feeds this longing to matter, to connect, to belong, to inspire others. And inspiration does not come from outside. Motivation comes from outside. We're motivated to achieve something for a certain result, but inspiration comes from within. If you are waiting for inspiration to come outside, if you're waiting for a perfect circumstance to happen, you're waiting for motivation, but life isn't going to wait for you. You can't wait for life to excite you or to inspire you from the outside. You have to be inspired from within. And inspiration comes when we're connected to our Dharma, to our purpose, to our deepest nature, to who we are. The word inspiration actually comes from the root meaning of the word inspiration means to breathe into. Inspiration breathes life into us. When we're inspired, when we're stoked, that fire is lit. You stoke the fire, the wood is lit. It awakens these dormant possibilities within us because anything is possible. The world is infinite. It's limitless. The only limits are the limits you place on yourself with your mind. When you're stoked, you burn away those limitations. When you're lit up, you become a participant and a co-creator in life, not just a spectator. And when you're inspired, your energy expands dramatically. The moments that I'm most inspired, I have more energy than I know what to do with. I have infinite energy when I'm inspired. When I've been in India doing selfless service, like really selfless service, not karma yoga, hours upon hours, 18 hours, 20-hour passes, 20 hours without remembering to eat or take rest because there was inspiration. The mind is clear and the heart is open and the vision is universal. And we're connected to a purpose. And your body is energized with light, the light of consciousness, the light of love. This is tejas of the universe, the intelligence of the universe expressing itself through the light of consciousness that is us. That tejas breathes this light into us. Being stoked gives life a vision, a purpose. One of the things that I get the most stoked about is the light rising and falling, the sunrise and the sunset. Oh my goddess, the most beautiful sunrise and sunset I recently had in a 2-day period. It was the Saraswati Yoga in May of 2026, if you're listening to this in some other year. And the first day, Friday of the Saraswati Yoga, I went and watched the sunrise from Haleakala, the sacred volcano. The sun rose over the ocean. And then 2 days later, at the end of the Saraswati Yoga, I watched the sun set over the ocean and the full moon rise over the other ocean. Stoked beyond words. I was awestruck. There was no words, the beauty of this light. I'm very excited to share with you Real Mushrooms, the sponsor of the Awaken Living podcast. I use their mushrooms every single day because they've genuinely changed my life. I trust them because they have more than 50 years of expertise and use only 100% organic mushrooms, 0 grains, 0 fillers, which are found in most of the common mushroom products on the market. They use just real, organic, clinically tested mushrooms. Every morning, I use lion's mane to sharpen my thinking. I use cordyceps to give me clean energy I need for the day. I use chaga to strengthen my immune system, and when stress hits, and it does, I use reishi to bring me back to center. With their products, you actually feel the difference. And if you'd like to experience that for yourself, click on the link in the show notes or visit realmushrooms.com and use the code AWAKEN20 for 20% off your first order. But we're stoked when we hear that music, when we hear a sacred teaching that we know is true and it puts us into a state of understanding. Stoked by a good conversation that's inspired by someone else who's stoked. In moments of silence, when the whole world becomes still, when the birds start singing in the morning, when inspiration arrives, our inner fire illuminates, it becomes brightened, our minds become illuminated, our hearts are engaged, energy moves. And why is everybody not stoked? That's the good question. Why is everybody not stoked? Why is everyone not feeling this? Because we're all part of that same consciousness. Because we have an epidemic of dullness. So many people that I talk to today feel disconnected from their natural inspiration. They feel disconnected from that inner fire, from that inner stoked, because they're exhausted. They're numbed out. They're distracted by TikTok and scrolling over and over and over again, or they're just overwhelmed with everything going on in the world. And they're in survival mode, and life becomes mechanical, and all the days merge into one another. They blend together, and the spark fades or begins to fade. And it's crazy because there's infinite access to endless entertainment, information, convenience. There's so much access to everything. There's access to education. There's access to things that you can get stoked by. There's so much access to more music and more art and more beauty and more poetry. And so many people are uninspired because they're exhausted. They're overwhelmed. Exhaustion has become normal, and it's not normal. Distraction has become normal. Exhaustion, distraction, dullness of mind, that's not normal. It's become normal, but it's not normal. The normal state of human consciousness is Satchidananda, pure bliss, awareness. We are supposed to be the light of the universe. And our awe and wonder and curiosity is becoming a rare phenomenon. We live in this modern world that intentionally scatters our attention in hundreds of different directions to fragment our energy. We consume more over and over and over again and experience so much less. This result is not just fatigue and overwhelm, it's the systematic dimming of our inner flame. And when that inner flame, that tejas, becomes depleted, there's no warmth. Our heart becomes cold. We lose enthusiasm. We are not connected to our creativity. We lose our discernment about what's good for us and what can bring us back to joy. And life becomes repetitive. We stop smelling the flowers. We stop noticing the absolute beauty of the whole of creation. We don't listen to music the same way. We don't listen to our hearts. The fire is still there. It lives in all of us. But it's covered by the ashes of overstimulation, the ashes of stress and fear and doubt and disconnection. And what causes this? Number one, way too much screen time. We're not supposed to be on a computer all day. We're supposed to be outside looking at the 5 elements, experiencing natural daylight. We're not connecting to nature the same way. Chronic stress, poor digestion, and part of that's just because of the quality of the food supply and the chemicals. But also, if you have Ayurvedic knowledge, you can eat right for your body type and make adjustments. Lack of purpose. I talk to so many youth who just feel that there's no purpose behind anything. What's the meaning of it all? It's just fake mass on a screen. And we don't have proper outlets. We don't have proper channels to express our emotions without being judged or criticized or blamed. For the youth, for adults too, it's scary to express yourself because instead of having a council culture where we have a council of elders to guide us, we have a cancel culture. You make one mistake, you say the wrong thing, and you're shunned. You're pushed out of the community. So it becomes a survival issue. People are terrified to express their light. People are living out of alignment with their values. And all of these factors slowly dim the inner flame. And when that flame is low and flickering, the wind of change is trying to blow it out. The inspiration becomes difficult to access. Life loses its beauty and color. And the purpose of spirituality is to light you up. And there's another level of being stoked that goes so much more beyond excitement. It's possible to feel spiritually stoked all the time. This happens when we feel connected to the mystery of existence. It's really simple. Go outside and watch the sunrise. Watch the sunset. Sit beneath a star-filled sky. Find a meteor shower to watch. Go meditate. That doesn't mean you have to do any special practice. Go sit and breathe into your belly on the earth and just breathe and just be there. Gratitude makes us stoked. It lights the fire. Witness the flower, smell the rose. Go help the homeless, feed the hungry, serve others. We become stoked when we remember who we truly are, when we connect to beauty, to nature. When we do those things, consciousness is illuminated. We feel connected. Okay? We need to have a spiritual understanding of our purpose. Then everything becomes beautiful. And so many people approach spirituality as another obligation, as a self-improvement project, as a list of practices they should complete or something that they should do. But if you're really authentically connected to your spirituality, it should make you more alive. There's no shoulds in it other than it will make you more alive. It will increase your capacity to perceive the beauty of creation and to reestablish that curiosity and wonder. It will expand your love for life again. The sages, these ancient rishis, these enlightened people, they didn't pursue spiritual awakening or liberation or moksha, whatever you want to call it, to escape the world. They sought their own awakening so they could experience the reality more fully, more completely, in its totality, with all the beauty and light it has to offer. So when we experience a joy that's not dependent on any kind of external circumstances, this is what these rishis referred to as awakening the light of awareness of itself, the light of awareness of self. Awareness itself brings more awareness. And when we first need to become aware that we're unaware, and then we can become more aware. And so being stoked, the fire of tejas, illuminates where we're not aware, but we have to ask, we have to invite it in, we have to blow on it, we have to stoke the fire. We have to stoke the fire of being stoked. Like increases like. So the more stoked you are, the more stoked you are. And a spiritually stoked person will become more enthusiastic and more creative and more engaged, and also more compassionate. They shine. They're contagious. Their presence lights up a room. They uplift others. They radiate something. There's this magic something about them that cannot be manufactured. That inner fire burns so brightly. So, my question for you, what lights your fire? One of the best door songs ever. Come on, baby, light my fire. Try to set the night on fire. What lights your fire? What gets you stoked? That truly, on the spiritual path, that is one of the most important questions we can ask ourselves. What lights my fire? What genuinely lights me up? Not what my persona Instagram page is going to do to impress others. Not what my family expects of me or society expects of me. Not what if 1,000 or 5,000 Instagram followers approves of my post or not. What lights you up for you? What awakens aliveness within you? For me, it's life, but really specifically, music. Music is the sound of the universe. Music to me is love. Music is healing. The vibration of the universe comes through music. Nature, the 5 elements. For some, it's teaching. For some, it's creating, serving, learning. An architect, it's building. For a parent, it's being a parent. A gardener, it's gardening. For a surfer, it's surfing. For a yogi, it's doing yoga or meditation or prayer, whatever. For a healer, healing, whatever. It doesn't matter. What stokes you? What awakens the aliveness within? Every person on this planet is a unique expression. And the world is better when you're stoked. The world is better when you light your fire and let it shine bright. The important thing is not, it is important to understand what lights your fire, but the important thing is that the fire is lit and that you honor it and you let your soul speak through that light of enthusiasm, through wonder, through fascination, through inspiration. Let your fire speak. Light a fire and listen to the fire speak to you. Look at the fire. Have a fire and just gaze into the fire. Let it speak to you. Close your eyes. Listen to the sound of the fire. Listen to it resonate in your heart. If where you are, there's a fire danger outside, imagine a fire in your heart burning. What is that fire telling you? What is it lighting up? What is the sound of that fire? Or in your third eye. Imagine a fire, a little campfire burning in your heart or third eye. Or in your crown. Just light yourself up. We need to practice cultivating this because the world is trying to shut it out. It's trying to suffocate our fire. Fires require several things. They require fuel, the wood. They require oxygen, and they need to be protected. Our inner fire is not different than an external fire. That fire needs tending to. It needs to be stoked. The spiritual art of being stoked requires tending to the inner fire. Okay? So whatever that means to you. But again, I just want to re-emphasize nature, 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 nature. Watch the sunrise, watch the sunset. Move your body, dance to music, dance to no music, dance to the wind rustling in the leaves. Study wisdom teachings. Study wisdom teachers. Cook something, create something, make a poem, blow bubbles, go to the park and play on the swings. Spend time with people who inspire you. But the most important thing is reducing the things that distract you. Do what inspires you and reduce the things that distract you. Do what's meaningful. Our time here on planet Earth, it seems long and it feels like we're going to live forever because the truth is we are immortal and we are eternal and we will live forever, but bodies are hard to come by. A good incarnation, 80 to 100 years. Don't waste time doing things that are meaningless. Find what's meaningful for you and engage in that all the time. Become the source of light. Gandhi said, be the change that you want to see in the world. Be the light that you want to see in the world. Be the light that you want to see in yourself. Be contagious. Be like a wildfire. Our creativity inspires others. I have a friend, a musician friend, who's 59 years young. And he's one of the most inspirational people I know. Because at 59 years old, he's been in the music industry since he was a teenager. And he's made so many albums. He's always making music. He tours the world. He has a vegan restaurant. He has a tea house. He's creating all the time. He has a YouTube channel. He's never ending creativity. He is stoked and he has time for his family and recreation. That's what happens when you're truly stoked. Our courage to be stoked encourages others to be stoked, to trust themselves. Our presence becomes nourishing to others. If there's darkness, a single candlelight removes the darkness. A single candlelight can light the candle of many other candles without losing its own flame. This is the same exact for human beings. People who are stoked by life naturally bring energy, possibility, and hope in the world around them. They remind us of what is possible. They remind us of who we are. So the spiritual path is not merely about becoming more peaceful. That's a big part of it, because inner peace leads to more inspiration, and that leads to becoming more fully alive. But it's about awakening that sacred fire within, about allowing that tejas to illuminate the mind, illuminate the heart, guide the soul. And when we realize that, life becomes precious. It's a gift. So being stoked, again, it's not about constant excitement. It's not about, no one is enthusiastic every single moment of every day. But being stoked is about maintaining that relationship with the fire within. It's remembering what lights you up. It's honoring your deepest values, connecting to that childlike wonder, and choosing growth over stagnation, and allowing that inspiration to move through you. So I came up with a phrase based off of a Ram Dass phrase. He said, I work on myself as service to others, and I serve others as work on myself. So I changed it a little bit to suit being stoked. I stoke myself to illuminate others, and I hang out with stoked people to remember to keep stoking my own fire. So keep stoking your own fire, protect your flame, feel inspiration, live with wonder, follow what lights you up, feed your inspiration, live with gratitude. It's living in a way that keeps the flame shining bright for ourselves and for the world. So I encourage everyone, stay curious, stay inspired, stay connected to your inner light, and above all else, stay stoked. Namaste. Thank you for joining me again this week. If you are stoked on this podcast, like it, subscribe, leave your comments, share what gets you stoked, share this with others, and keep lighting the fire of life, and we can live a life of love together in the light and harmony of this beautiful creation.